What is good? Yes, your man, Drayton Jackson, DraytonJackson.com, man. Having this great conversations. Listen, go to the DraytonJackson.com and at the podcast, you can put your comments in there, man. We're going to do a little comment section, read back some comments of some of the shows and get your feedback on it. On Facebook, we can do it too. We're setting it up now to do one of the shows on Facebook Live. So this way you can tune in right away and then we'll go from there. But we are continuing on our quest and our whole father empowerment. Oh, this thing is really good. This series is really good. It's informative. We're uplifting our fathers of all kinds. Whatever that dynamic looks for you, it was you. You the father. You know what I'm saying? So today I want all my single fathers, my single fathers, stand up, single fathers, stand up, whatever reason, however it happened, salute, right? So there's a lot that goes on with fathers becoming single. There's a lot that goes on with society accepting that. There's, stigma and everything that goes into it. Everybody remembers The Pursuit of Happiness. I wish they would do part 2. Let me stop now. But it came out of the book Will Smith and Jada Smith, right? Oh, powerful. Wife leaves him with the child. This man is homeless. This man is going through it, trying to make something out of his life. Next thing you know, he goes through everything to really, really succeed and become the father that he knows he can become. You know what I'm saying? And he takes on that responsibility of becoming a single father. He didn't run or anything like that. And in today's society, you see what you have. Today, it is just beautiful. So my whole thing with this segment is to really get rid of those myths, get rid of those social, things that are messing people up when it comes to us as men. And things that they say we can't do. Can't cook, not supposed to. Can't clean, not supposed to. You know what I'm saying? You rearing the children. If you're, pushing a stroller by yourself without the woman, something's wrong with you. All this type of stuff. So, I wanted to touch today on the single fathers, man, because it's rising, dude. It's rising. It's here. You know what I'm saying? And single fathers are becoming more and more relevant and more important in children's lives. As women start to go more into the workforce and as women start to, find their voice and their strength, there's things that they're just not going to tolerate anymore. And there's decisions that they are making that doesn't make them less than a mother or anything like that. It's just, look, this is where I want to do. This is what I want to be. You got guys for years. Men have picked their careers over their families, right? We've done that all the time. And I think women are doing that and should not be down for it, should not be criticized for it, because it's like, yo, look, this is what it is, So things happen in relationships and then you find yourself, sitting there. Next thing you know, you have a child. It wasn't planned. And we have to respect people's decisions and what they make for themselves as well, because otherwise we wind up with the other part of it, right? The other part is what? Abuse. The other part is neglect. The other part is people children not being taken care of. So we're going to dive deep into it on this segment, man, and really go into the percentages and show you some things that are going on in society with single fathers and the rise. So shout out to Will Smith. Shout out to Jaden. Maybe cry. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. That was good. The Pursuit of Happiness. So Conversations with Dre, you are here with us. DraytonJackson.com. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Today's show is brought to you by Gather Together, Grow Together at G2G2.org, helping low-income and homeless people in Kitsap County. Welcome back. Conversations with Dre, DraytonJackson.com. I got to keep pushing that out there, right? So listen, today we're dealing with, in our, father empowerment series, today we're dealing with our single father stand up. I'm going to hit up Beyonce and see, my single fathers. I'm going to see if we can get somebody to do it. You know what I'm saying? Usher, what's good? Holla at me. Let's get the song done. Talk about our single fathers, right? So in diving into, the research of this and stuff like that, there's a lot of great information. And normally a lot of times you don't find nothing that's really up to date on a lot of things that's there. But I had definitely found something in 2017 that was really, really cool. So the Institute of Family Studies, right? They gave us 5 facts about today's single fathers. And I think that this was so relevant and so on point. Like I told you, everything that we go through, we're going to give you that link to on the website so you can just go to it and check it out yourself and, take what you took out of it. So Elise Ellen Hegg, and I'm hoping I'm saying her name correctly. If I'm not, I apologize to you. In the 2017 December, in this study, there was some great things that came out of this that I think is very potent to why single fathers are doing what they do. According, and this is out of the report, so according to the U.S. Census Bureau, right, 16.1% of single parent households today are headed by fathers. That is up 12.5% in 2007. That's a big jump, right? So, you see from 2007 to, I think this would be 2015, I think that this is going to. I'll definitely correct that and make sure. But 16.1% of single parent households today are headed by fathers. That is astounding. Now, if you remember back in the days, right, fathers would always get they don't do nothing, ain't nothing there, And it's crazy. So the report goes on to say that overall, most U.S. children still live with 2 parents, while 27.1%, right, 27.1% live with 1 parent, most with their mothers, who still account for the overwhelming majority of single parent families, right? Now, let me say this. I got divorced from my ex-wife. At the time, we had 6 daughters, right? And I'm going in not because I just wanted to be mean or anything like that. It was like, yo, you have 6 children. For all this time, we've been living together and taking care of it together. And I know, people look at it as splitting up the children and everything like that. But my whole goal with going into court and fighting for 3 of my daughters and making sure that, we live close by and everything like that. The court system was not in favor. Let me say it that way. I had a great judge, but the court system just wasn't there with it, especially in New York City. Didn't see me having the child, right? So now 3 things that was on me. You had child support. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't making what I was supposed to make. So child support came first, and then the custody hearing came second. So, of course, I'm out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, and most fathers, I think, we are fighting for that. But now, like I said in the beginning, that you have mothers now that are making those decisions. Fine. You want your child? Keep it. Boom. Now fathers are stepping up. We're not running from it. We're taking, hold of what we have to take. So in this National Fatherhood Institute, right, they would talk about Christopher Brown, who's the president of it. Christopher Brown said to the person that did this report that there were 2 main reasons, right, that fathers were really doing, becoming single father families, right? And this was the key factor to me. Men are seen as more capable parents in general and accepted as single fathers specifically. That says a lot, because that means that societal norms is changing, and you're starting to see that we're quote unquote responsible. So the thinking was that, oh God, if you left him with the children, he was going to go and bring all his buddies over to watch football. The child's going to be sitting there smoking and all of that crap, right? So society is changing. So Christopher Brown, from the president of National Fatherhood Initiative, says men are seen as more capable parents in general and accepted as single fathers. So that means that it's changing. The thinking is changing, right? And then he says this, number 2, a greater willingness of the courts to award custody to single fathers, essentially awarding custody to the best parent, regardless of gender. So what's happened is that we're being looked at. We're good. You know what I'm saying? We're good in who we are and what we have become. So, we're going to come back. We're going to dive deep into this report because I think this report is really good. So they gave 5 important things and why fathers are becoming single fathers and what's going on in society. Let me tell you this. As this series starts, I am hoping that you guys give me some feedback because it's changing. I want to know if it's changing for you. I want to see if your household is changing and see if it's there. All my single fathers, holler at me on DraytonJackson.com. Leave your comments. Give me some feedback on it, and then we're going to discuss it. We're going to take a break real quick, and then we will be right back. It is Conversations with Dre. We are dealing with the father empowerment. Today's show is brought to you by Gather Together, Grow Together at g2g2.org, helping low-income and homeless people in Kitsap County. Welcome back. It is Conversations with Dre. We are dealing with the father empowerment segment, man. This thing is really good, diving in deep. I just wanted to touch on bases that I think need to be discussed and need to be brought up. And then, we'll see. Shout out to all my fathers in Head Start. Head Start definitely a big pusher of single fathers. And it's just single fathers in general, man. Stand up, man. So we're dealing with a report that was written in 2017, December, right, from the Institute of Family Studies. Elise Elhag, if I'm saying your name wrong, please do not, don't hold it to me. Call in and just cuss me out. But there's a great report that dives deep into single fathers, and we went into some stuff that was really good, right? We were talking about Christopher Brown, who's the president of National Fatherhood Institute Initiative, basically said that, men are more capable. And not only that, the courts are changing their mentality towards men being able to take care of their children. So when we do that, this report gave 5 reasons. That was the thing. You know what I'm saying? This is what they saw, why it's changing. And we talked about this before, right? So remember, it's called 5 Facts About Today's Single Fathers. That's the name of the report and the write-up. So here it is. The number one, of course, in any matter of it, is that most single fathers are divorced, right? We know that. So what's happening, and you see the trend of it, is that fathers are getting divorced and, mothers are bouncing. It's like, I'm done. I'm out. Got my career going. I'm going to go do my thing. And like I said in the beginning of the segment, is that it's not about judging anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because some people we're not ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And then some people may just step up and they do that. There shouldn't be a judgment about that. There shouldn't be a hatred about that. Decisions that we make, we have to be honest with ourselves. And that's what, to me, leads to a lot of things going wrong, right? But the second thing, and I want to dive into this because this is really important, especially me as a black man. I want you to really understand this part of it. The second thing that they said is single fathers are more likely to be white, older, and somewhat better educated compared to single mothers. So what are we saying? And this report came from the Institute of Family Studies, but the source of the data, when you go there, is going to be up on DraytonJackson.com. You can download it, check it out. The data is coming from the National Center of Families and Marriage Research, 2017. If you go and you see the data, it breaks it down. In the data, it's over 50% of white men. So children in single father and single mother families by race and ethnicity. So for white men, it's over 50%. White women is 30%. For black men, it's 10%. And then for black women, it's 30%. Hispanic men and women is almost close. You're looking at around maybe, 20, 25, 21, right? So 25 for Hispanic women and about 21 for Hispanic men. Check this, though. Asians are almost below 5%. And they're even, both Asian men and women, as far as who they have. And then a 2+ race. I don't know what that means. So, that's still below. So, white men are getting their children. Like I said, when I went to court, man, I fought for almost 2 years, to have custody of my children, and everything got brought up. You know what I'm saying? Everything got brought up. What I can't handle, my irresponsibility, even though I was out the breadwinner of the family and doing everything that I had to do for a long time. So, when you go in and you're starting to say like, I want this. I want that responsibility. The courts aren't giving it, especially the black men. We say that. So white men have stepped up into it. And then now, shout out to my white single fathers that's out there. A lot of white men for years have put their careers and everything that they did. I know personally friends of mine that they hate their fathers because their father was out there working. And it's like in my situation, my father didn't live with me. I had a relationship with him, but he didn't live with me. Passed away when I was 11. However, his time that he was with me, if he got me on Saturdays, we spent that time. I had white friends that I know that was living with their fathers and hating their fathers because their father was out earning money and not at home. So, the double-edged sword of it is that, you can't win. You know what I'm saying? You can't win if you lose, right? So So now here it is. You're starting to see the whole aspect of the dynamics change. So black men are still not getting their children, even if I think a lot of black men want their children, right? So you start to see the differences of how the courts are treating us and then treating everybody else with it. So it's one of those things that we have to really look at, and not to say we don't want. I hate bringing race into it, but it's real. The data is here. We see the data right there. So, we have to decide what's going to change that and how that's going to move, right? So we're going to come back, and then we're going to knock this all out and really get into, the other factors that are there on why single fathers are becoming more and more dominant in today's society. All right. Shout out to all my single fathers that are out there. Hit me up on DraytonJackson.com. Leave your comments, man. And listen, this is good, man. Go tell somebody to tune in, man. All right. So we'll be right back in a minute. Today's show is brought to you by Cars Auto Repair at 3740 Wheaton Way in Bremerton, Washington. Fixing cars in Kitsap County for more than 10 years. Give Chris a call, 360-561-1566. What's good? It's your man, Drayton Jackson, DraytonJackson.com, and we are dealing with the father empowerment. We're doing this thing really big, and we're talking today to our single father, stand up. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we see you, we recognize you, right? So dealing with Institute of Family Studies, December 5th, 2017, the 5 facts about today's single fathers. And I'm gonna just say at least the first name. I don't want to damage the name any worse than I have already done. But there's a great report that they put together, 5 facts about today's single fathers, and we just dived into. The Census Bureau gave a great percentage that 16.1% of single parent households today are headed by fathers, and that is astounding when you talk about it. And then they kind of touch on Christopher Brown, who's the president of National Fatherhood Initiative, where he goes in and says that men are seen more capable now as parents. And then the courts, because of that, are seeing and awarding the children to the father, right? But then we still go to this disparity in race, right? So when we left off before the break, we just said that single fathers are more likely to be white, older, and somewhat better educated compared to the single mothers. So in the white society, the woman is being demeaned and probably the same way that the black man is in court. She's not educated, she's not this. And society, if you look back, right, let's go back. Women were forced to be at home, right? You were forced. You had this rich man, he's working at the law firm, he's doing whatever he has to do. You don't need to work. Why do you need a career when you could stay home, them taking care of you, you live in a mansion? And that's what it really is, right? But you look at black fathers in the chart that they give, it's damn near 11% compared to 30% of black women. So, the disparity has a lot, and I'll touch on it, has a lot to do with finance, as much as we don't want to talk about it, but it is. White men are out there, opportunities are given, and black men are trying to make opportunities, but society in some cases have stopped, them. And we can say whatever we want, but at the end of the day, the data is there. The numbers are there, right? We want to deal with the numbers is there, and I think we need to dive deeper into that. But that's either here or there. Maybe we'll go ahead and touch on that one day. But so we at number 3, right? So number 3 says that single fathers are more likely to be cohabited, right, with somebody else, right? So in 2003, the Pew Research Center, shout out to Pew, do great work, found that 41% of single fathers are living with somebody else. They're living with a partner compared to 60% of single mothers, right? So what do I take this as, right? There used to be a saying that nobody wants a woman with children, right? That's the way the saying, right? So no, you oh God, she got like 3 or 4 children. Oh, you ain't messing with them. So it's like, that's the way it is. So, but men, if they go ahead and they get with somebody else, it's considered good. Now, remember, if this research is doing right, I would love to hear if they were surveying white women or were they surveying white men or they were surveying everybody across the thing. Because, when a black father hooks up with another woman, oh my God, it's a whole, yeah, my black fathers let me know, right? You can't go over there. Children ain't going over there. You know what I'm saying? And if the courts do that, then it's like, all right, you have this other woman living with you, right? So, that's I can understand that data. I can understand that data because most women that I know have said the same thing to me, is that nobody wants to mess with them. They have children, 1 or 2 children, and then here it is, I don't care, but fathers get that, right? They live with somebody else. It's not looked at as bad, right? Okay. So when we go to number 4, single father families are better off financially than single mother families, right? Right. So once again, they go back to the Pew report and they said a median adjustment annual income for single dads. Now, I don't know if this is black or white. That's just, me. But it says for single dads with 2 children is about $40,000 compared to $26,000 for single moms with 2 children. Understand what I just said. In this report, it says that the median adjustment annual income for single dads with 2 children is about $40K compared to $26,000 for single moms. You can't survive for $26,000 for 2 children. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said. This goes into the whole thing of understanding the dynamics, right? So women, shout out to all my women that are fighting for equal pay. Shout out to all my women that are fighting for, their right to be looked at for their talent as executives, talents as supervisors, whatever it may be, pay me the same, right? And this data shows that. And like I said, I don't know if the data dealt with black and white because I'm almost sure I don't know many black men, me personally, that is making $40K living with 2 children that have their children. I'm just saying that, right? So, hopefully we'll get the answer on that. I'll seek out the answer for it. But in that research, it still says this, right? Single mothers, they are still significantly more likely to be living in poverty than married parents. 8.4% of related children in married families were in poverty in 2016, compared to 19.9% of related children in single father families, right? And that was according to the Census Bureau that gave this number. So that means that you had women, white or black, we don't know, that were really out there and they are just struggling to make ends meet and try to make it happen, right? So I'm a little shocked at these numbers because, I'm just going to put it out there, hit me up and let me know. These numbers to me seem a little off when we are saying, on the other hand, that women graduate from college more than men, right? So if that's the case, then, oh my God, where are we going wrong? What's going on, right? So I dived in because I want to make sure I wasn't going crazy, right? So in the Atlantic, which is a great, if you don't know the Atlantic, go to theatlantic.com. It's a great magazine as well. They had an article of why men are the new college minority, right? And then they touched on this. Males are enrolling in higher education at an alarmingly low rate. And some colleges are working hard to receive the trend. So that means that they're not even in college. Men aren't even in college. So I'm looking at these numbers that they're talking about, right? And this goes to your point, women, right? This goes to your point. Where men once went to college in proportion for higher than women, 58% to 42% as recently as 1970. The ratio has now almost exceedingly reversed, right? So here we go. You ready? This was 2017, August. This fall, women will comprise more than 56% of students on campuses nationwide. Let's take that in, right? So what that is saying, so, on one hand, we're saying that men, single parent men, white, because it said white men. So I'm thinking that that's what this is based off of, that they're making $40,000 compared to $26,000 for single women. So this goes to a lot of women's point of the disparity in pay, right? So when we talk about the pay, oh my goodness, what's going on? They're graduating, they're in college, they're getting everything, right? But you're not making the pay. So the New York Times Magazine, I went a little further because I really want this point, really looked at. So it says in the New York Times article, right, that I just pulled, and like I said, we're going to have it there, women college degree. It says women are now more likely to have college degrees than men. Nola Fellini in October 17, 2015. Like I told you, we're going to have this all on the website for you to download, look at. But she says this, 29.9% of men had a bachelor's degree while 30.2% of women did. You understand? 29.9% of men had a bachelor's degree while 30.2% of women did. So if this doesn't give, women their whole point of when they graduate, they're not getting paid, right? So we'll touch on that because I really want to go back to that because that's a real deep part that, it shows on one end that single fathers are there, but they're getting in the positions, they're getting paid. So number 5, this is the last thing that came off of it, right? While the research on single fathers is limited, studies show that children in single father families fare better as well as children in single mother families on many outcomes, although there are differences, right? In literacy, and she gives this great research that I really want people to look at. It's the Literacy Review research on single fathers dating from 1970 through 2015. Robert Coles concluded this, and I'm gonna read this. And we're gonna wrap it up. And I want we got to touch back on this, man. We got to touch back on this. This is deep. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to know if it's race based. Are we talking about white men? Are we talking about black men? What's the differences, right? So here it is, right? He says, with a few, and this is Robert Coles, right? Literature Review of Research on Single Fathers, right? From 1970 to 2015. With a few possible exceptions, the children of single fathers do better as well in terms of initializing behavior, academic performance, sometimes even better, he has it in quotes. However, the children of single fathers appear to be more likely to participate in externalizing behavior and substance use. As of yet, the few studies of young adults do not seem to indicate significant long-term differences as related to marriage, teen birth, and divorce between those reared in single father versus single mother homes. So on one end, he's saying that it's not really, making a bigger difference. Mother or father, they're not showing any big difference in the outcome of it. So all I'm saying to you is all my fathers that are out there, stand up, keep doing what you're doing. Do not, waver. Do not let society tell you anything. And if you're a single father without anybody else in the household, be proud of that. Many years, I used to hear this all the time. It became a badge of honor, especially in the black community. I'm a single mother, I'm this, and I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Then you start seeing white women go to it. And it was like weird. It's like, that's not how society be. We should be together as a family. You get what I'm saying? We should have to work that thing out. And, I'm a victim of it myself. You know what I'm saying? I, left my ex-wife and my 6 daughters, and boom, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, we make our situation what it is in a lot of terms, and we have to learn as fathers that our responsibility is to always step up and take care of what we have to do. A lot of things are changing in society today, and we have to learn that society is not going to dictate and tell us how we should be as men, and society is not going to dictate and tell us, or should not, let me say it that way, should not dictate to us how we are as a family. And the data that's out there, we have to look at this data from all perspectives, man, and really go deep. So I'm going to tell all my single fathers, salute to you. Keep fighting, keep going on, and make sure that you do not let society or anybody that surrounds you tell you that you're not great. You are great and you are there. So listen, until next time, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, of course, DraytonJackson.com, and leave your comments, leave everything that's there. And father empowerment, this segment is, it's really deep, and we're going to go to this Might have to really set this up and do it for next year again. All right. Till the next time, empower father and fathers be empowered. Peace. Conversations with Dre is intended for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this show by its hosts do not represent the views, positions, and opinions of Family Day Foundation, For You Entertainment TV, and its affiliates.
Why do you talk so much? Oh my God, why do you talk so much? Shut up. Nobody wants to talk to you.